Eating Soup Alone is a podcast hosted by me, Christopher Crumley, and co-hosted by Nicholas Johnson. We try our best to ramble incoherently about a handful of movies at least once a week. I think we should talk about Scream 7 first because we saw it
Absolutely, yeah.
like a year ago.
Yeah.
So for starters, Free Palestine.
What? Oh, yeah.
And-
yeah, of course. I was like, where's this coming from? But yeah, no, I remember.
And, thumbs down to everything that's going on in Iran, obviously. But that stuff aside, we did see Scream 7, even though those two actors who, honestly, I don't think they brought anything to the Scream franchise.
That's what I thought until I saw Scream 7.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't like this film, but even seeing it, I was like, this feels more like a Scream movie than the last couple have, in my opinion.
I could see that.
But, yeah. Which is funny, because at the same time, I've also felt like they need to move on from Neve Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of, that actress who got in trouble for saying Free Palestine. Her being, like, someone who's got the Billy Loomis in her, but she's someone she can harness for good, like... What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Two things can be true. I can at the same time think that we need to move on from Neve Campbell, but also think that the way they decided to do it was not right.
But you don't want Ghost Dad. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And also Wednesday Addams, I don't think she brought a lot to the role. I get that she's like popping and stuff. I haven't seen Wednesday, but I haven't really seen anything that I like really enjoy her in besides when she cucked her boyfriend in that movie X or whatever.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was really good. Good job, Wednesday. But anyway, so they're gone, sadly. But I'm going to say one more thing. No, fuck it. Give me something. Give me some goo about Scream 7. Just general thoughts, whatever.
Some
What's up?
Scream 7 goo. What I love.
Yeah, goo.
Just shit from my butt. I think...
What were you expecting going in?
I agree with you on everything you said about the two actors that left, and good on them for leaving.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
one got fired, but
one got fired, and then
Wednesday,
Kenny Omega
good on
left.
you. Yes.
Good on her.
Yes. Respect to Kenny Omega, for sure. Kendrick, what's her name?
Lamar?
Jenna Ortega. Is it Jenna Ortega?
Yeah, Kenny
Okay.
Omega.
Kenny Omega. I remember that bit. I was genuinely searching for her actual name. I think she got buccal fat removal thing. She got crazy.
It's crazy that you know that but don't know her name.
Just because I've seen a lot of women on YouTube that that are just like, fucking plastic surgery should be illegal. Like, this isn't acting anymore. Like, you can't even tell what these people's faces don't emote anymore. Like, you can't watch a scene from any movie with any actor in it and actually feel anything anymore because they're all mutilating their faces. Like, this should be illegal. And I am like, yes, girl. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you.
See the Jim Carrey stuff?
If I did, but before we get into it, two things that I think should definitely be illegal. One, advertisement. All advertisement. It just has a fucking satanic feel to it. I don't like it. And not in a badass way, in like a corrupt, awful way. And then the other one is, I don't think that plastic surgery should be legal. Everybody has the right to do whatever with their body, but that stuff is just... It's like dystopian future stuff. Like, if someone wrote that in the 50s, I know that plastic surgery existed then, but, like, if Ray Bradbury or, like, Philip K. Dick wrote that into a novel, you'd be like, oh, how gross, but it's normal in our...
I don't think plastic surgery should be illegal. Like, yeah, you should do whatever you want.
I think there are times where, obviously, it has, like, the medical application where people are in, like, less pain or something, blah. That stuff's fine, but, like, yeah, there's
I think it should be easier for you to take a plastic surgeon to court if they do a bad job,
Man,
so they'd be better.
Let me see if I can pull this up. But yeah, what a fuck up if they do.
But Tist, what I was saying about the two actors that left Scream. Let me pull up them.
You ever seen these brothers?
Oh yeah, those guys they look like a lot of people in Yakuza look like that.
Here's what they used to look like before.
And I'm not saying the Yakuza. I mean the Yakuza video games. There are a lot of like reused just NPCs that kind of have that face. Never seen them before. That's wicked.
Yeah. And then now they,
Yeah, now they look
haunting. Truly haunting.
Ventriloquist dummies.
It also, I'm not trying to be rude, but you wake up in a cold sweat, and this is inches from your face.
Yeah, that's
your
gotta
soul's
be,
leaving your body.
I mean, even if you're that, Chris, you know how often I'll be getting into the shower and
Catch a glimpse. Like, oh.
No, I'll catch a glimpse of like my knee or my thigh, and I'll go, "Oh right, I have tattoos."
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll see myself and I go, "Oh right, I have long hair." I've had long hair for like 4 years at this point, but in my mind, I don't.
Yeah.
Because like for some reason, because I haven't for a majority of my life. So in my head, I'm a short-haired guy.
Yeah.
Guarantee you, those guys in their head got
They
normal
look like
face.
on the left. Yeah.
So they get up in the middle of the night, look in the mirror, spooks them.
Yeah. But you were saying the Jim Carrey thing.
Oh yeah, that's obviously just either bad plastic surgery or recent plastic surgery. Like there's that classic picture of Simon Cowell where he looks crazy.
Yeah.
And that's just from what I've heard, like recent plastic surgery where like all the swelling hasn't gone down.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed I saw what was going on with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people are just also upset because he's been vocal against that kind of stuff.
yeah, well,
But
I
people
brought
change.
it up. I brought it up because I was going to drag a friend that really believed that there's a chance that that's not actually Jim Carrey. I don't want to do that. I've changed my mind.
Okay.
Back to
Cool.
Scream 7.
Scream 7.
Melissa Barrera got
Barrera.
fired. Kenny Omega quit.
Yeah.
The thing I like about Scream, which is, the most notable thing I think about Scream compared to all other slashers, is every slasher is the sequels. The only like returning character every time is the killer.
Yeah.
Where in the Scream movies, it's the cast that stays the same and the killer changes.
Right.
With the newer ones, even after Dev Campbell left for that one, I liked that we had this new cast with what are these kids' names? Mason Gooding and frickin' the other names, Jasmine Savoy Brown.
Mason is the buff guy?
He's the one that was in 7.
Yeah.
The two
with
the
his sister.
brother and sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like those guys.
I like those guys,
I like
but
those
I didn't
guys.
know how much I liked them until they were a shot in the arm for Scream 7. Where I was like,
Yeah.
people who are having fun making a movie.
Yeah.
I like this.
I like those two. I have liked those two. The last 3 films.
Yes, and in this one, in 7, the like merging of the old cast back again. I mean, the old cast really just being. I mean, Matthew Lillard unfortunately is there, which
unfortunately
never thought I would say.
Never thought I'd say that. Yeah, I did watch an hour-long interview with him on Last Meals or something like that.
Okay,
it's like a podcast like Hot Ones, but instead you eat your last meals.
They kill him afterwards.
Yeah. Both the meals that he picked were like one was like something that his dad loved, which was he would always make like steak and eggs like on Christmas mornings. That was one of the meals, and the other one was like his mom's taco salad, which is so funny because he starts the episode kind of being like, "Oh, I don't really have that many emotional connections to food and stuff," but he ends up crying like the whole time. So, it's really good. It's really good. Like the one bit that I'll share that really stood out to me was like he was talking about like as a kid he was like really into history and stuff. He's like, I have this memory, and he's like kind of being like a bit guarded at first, where he's like, it's a weird memory. It's kind of weird. It's crazy. Whatever. He's like, but like, I remember being like 5 and I was sitting in my closet reading like one of my history books or whatever. And he's like, I remember looking up at my mom and being like, yeah, Mom, you're not going to be in the history books. And she was like, but you're my history. Mm-hmm. And he just starts bawling or whatever.
I saw him talk about that on a different podcast. Yeah. I also saw a video of him with like, I want to say Polygon.
Okay.
Like, it's just him going into like this big video game store in New York.
Yeah.
It's like a small, cramped, like New York kind of store that just it looks more like somebody's attic instead of an actual store, you know?
Sure.
Just having him go through talk about video games and how they affected his life and like of course.
Yeah, I think I've seen that recommended to me. Yeah.
Of course he's a man in his 50s, so he's just like, Pong was crazy, man. He's just going on about Pac-Man and how crazy it was to be able to play Pac-Man in his house. And I was like, okay, this is just what it's going to be. And then toward the end of it, he was just talking about how much he loves playing Overwatch and Apex Legends with his son. I'm like, dude, that beats so much ass.
Yeah. We are big Matthew Lillard fans, but they again, 2 things can be true. I would love for Stu Macher to come back, and I would love for Matthew Lillard to be in a Scream film, but this was not the way.
Not at all.
This was not the way. Spoilers.
It ain't him.
Yeah, they do this weird AI thing. And the thing about it is, and I'm sure we talked about this before, but like, how hard is it for films to do a little bit of research into like how this stuff actually works in real life.
Oh
Like
my God.
when you're doing the AI movie, at least know a little bit about how like the AI technology works.
Yeah, Chris.
It's insane.
Chris.
They don't even know how FaceTime works. FaceTime doesn't even look right.
I'm blood red mad. If you are going to show somebody on a phone screen through a video that is being filmed by a phone, film it on a fucking phone.
Yeah.
There is no fucking way it was cheaper to get Matthew Lillard in front of a red camera than it was to get him to record something holding a fucking iPhone.
Yeah.
Chris, they shoot feature films on iPhones. The cameras look good. All right? It works.
Yeah.
And also, if the camera doesn't look good, he's on a fucking iPhone. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then all the... Go on.
Really quick, when he's on every time he's like, bitch, and then comedically like brings his whole arm in to like end the call.
Yeah.
They should not have told him to do that. Most people would just hit the side button to fucking end the call or whatever. Or also maybe your thumb. You wouldn't bring your whole other arm.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That
like he does it at one point because like it makes it look like he's holding a giant phone.
Yeah.
Like he's a little guy on a big Honey, I Shrunk the Kid's phone. Because I shot it with a real camera of him in front of a green screen very clearly, instead of just putting him on the back lot of the studio.
And I'm not the biggest fan of nitpicking, but it's one of those things where it's just like, it's such an intrinsic part of everybody's day that when you do it cartoonishly like that, it's jarring. Like if I were to whip out a sandwich mid-scene and then go like, and rub my belly, you'd be like, why is this guy like chewing this up right now? That's what it's like when you do shit like that. It's like, this is not what a fucking FaceTime call looks like. And then the AI stuff with the spoilers, one of the killers being like, I used to work Google security, so I know how AI works. But then the AI does not, it's not how AI works at all.
Yeah.
Like, just so strange.
And it's
so strange.
It's not even like a tease.
Like you wouldn't have to do an AI, whatever. Okay.
Like the movie starts, you see him for the first time, and they're like, "Uh-oh, that's AI." And for the rest of the movie, they're like, "This is AI." But what if it's not? This is AI. This is AI. Maybe it's not AI, but it's definitely probably AI. And at the end, they're like, "Surprise! It was AI." You know what? Ooh,
I don't want to hear AI that much in any movie.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't.
Unless it's about directed by Steven Spielberg and from the 90s. Is that movie from the 90s?
Or
not important.
Or James Cameron and it's Terminator or something.
Exactly.
Even in those films, I don't know how many times AI gets brought up. You'd black out if you drank every time they said AI.
I don't want to hear about AI unless it's about a cool robot.
Yes.
Chris, another point that boiled my blood. So when that guy at the end who's like, I worked for Google AI, when he says, he basically looks in the camera and goes, no, Stumacher's not alive. That'd be dumb. Chris, the last two movies were about a ghost dad of the other guy.
Yeah.
A deepfake AI ghost dad of the other guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and before I continue being mad about stuff, I would like to point out this guy who turns out to be the killer, whose name I cannot remember. But the orderly at the hospital, I like him. He looks he belongs in a Friday the 13th movie. As soon as they got to that asylum, I was just like, ooh, I love this guy. Yeah. He fits in this perfectly.
There are some things I like about this film for sure.
And then
he's one of them.
Before they leave that hospital, which are they there for maybe 90 seconds, I was like, it's this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's a killer.
I would like to say that, that's one of the things, again, that I like in the original that the characters are aware of horror films. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of like, jokingly talking about the rules of horror films and stuff like that. But, like, nobody's taking it serious in universe. Like,
yes.
Jamie Kennedy isn't actually saying, like, like in that scene, what's happening is they're drunkenly watching Halloween, and he's explaining why like Jamie Lee Curtis is gonna live, whatever it is, because she doesn't drink, she's the virgin and stuff like that. There are rules to horror films. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You don't know the rules," and then he lays out the rules. There isn't a scene where Jamie Kennedy's like, "If we all want to live this, we're gonna have to follow the rules." You know what I mean? But that's what every sequel does, and it's like, again, it reminds me of watching the Hellraiser films where I'm like, did you watch the first one? Because like you're kind of like doing a caricature of what that film was, but you're not actually doing. Yeah. So that's my problem with all the sequels. Continue, because it sounds like you're gonna say something. Then I'll finish my thing real quick.
I was just gonna continue with your point. Yeah, no, I've said it before, probably 2 or 3 times on this very show, but yeah, I like that in the first one when he's giving out those rules. He's telling you that he's laying out the rules of all the slashers. Meanwhile, we are cutting to this movie breaking those rules and letting you know, hey, from here on out for the rest of this movie, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We are doing something different. Whereas Scream 2 through 6 just goes, if we want to survive, we got to do sequel
This
stuff.
is a requel.
And
it's kind of like a sequel, but it's actually also a reboot of the franchise because at this point it's so played out that nobody even cares about it. But they care about those original characters enough because nostalgia bait is in and everybody wants this. And it's like, okay,
so
stop.
instead of doing a smart, fun, self-aware,
It's lazy meta slop.
it becomes a lazy meta slop. And until the last one, I was like, I don't mind this lazy meta slop. It's a little fun. I enjoy Scream 2, as much as the next guy.
But the reason why I bring it up, okay? Here's the reason why I bring it up, is because Scream as a franchise loves doing what you were just talking about a moment ago with the whole like Stumacher isn't back. That'd be dumb. Mm-hmm. Every one of these movies is fucking dumb.
The last one had a ghost in it.
I have fun with them, and I'm not trying to like just be a dick to be a dick, but like the last one, the murderer was the police dad of one of the victims from the last movie, and none of the friends knew that their friend who died's dad was a cop that lives in New York, and none of the people on the force said like, "Hey, you sure you want to work this one because it's related to your kid." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Stumacher would be being dumb would be dumb, but so would the sequel have. But the second one be like, but the Timothy Elephant and then Stumacher's mom are running around in his ghost face. Like, all of these are dumb. Like. So that's all I'm trying to say is like I don't like how smug the Scream movies get because it's like, again, like I said a second ago, like I'm not mad at you, but don't pretend like you're not dumb.
No, this one is directed by Kevin Williamson. I think this is the first thing he's ever directed, and I hope it's his last. I remember like in a bunch of like fucking commercials for this movie I saw, it's a lot of this cast talking about like Kevin understands Scream more than anyone else because he wrote them all. And it's like, no. Kevin Williamson no longer understands what Scream was about.
No.
I think Kevin Williamson probably wrote a fun script.
Yeah.
And then luckily Wes Craven went, "Ooh, I know how to make this fun."
But also it wasn't even his passion. Also, like his passion was like Dawson's Creek and stuff like that. Sure, he wrote a bunch of like coming of age, like teen drama shit. And again, whatever. But yeah, that is that's Cooper. Go lay down, please.
I got caught in the crossfire on that.
Yeah.
They bumped into me. I got real scared for a second.
But it happens to a lot of people. Like, again, Scream was what, 1996? Mm-hmm. I don't expect Kevin Williamson to know what Scream still is. Scream, honestly, to be a healthy human being is for Scream to not, matter to him at this point that much. Like, it just is a memory.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Point. Yeah,
so whatever, that's fine. I'm not mad at it. It's just, clearly, you're right. It's just... So, let's talk about the film itself. Okay?
But also, no, I don't think he did a good job, but no knock against him for thinking he could do this. That sounds like a great deal for him is when this comes around and they don't have a director because the other ones quit or got fired or whatever, him going like, oh, let me do it. That'd be cool. I'd like to direct a movie. Good on you. But also, did a bad job. Maybe direct a short first. Anyway, go on.
Let's start here. Like you said a second ago, you like the guy in the insane asylum. And you know what? You know what I would have liked more than what happened in this film, honestly?
What's that?
If Stumacher was just back.
Yeah.
And none of the AI stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have been fine with that. I'd been probably fine with the FaceTime being a little janky even.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one of those things where nobody wants to be jerked around like that.
Yeah.
You bait and switched me, and not in like a fun way. Like a more fun bait and switch would be to like try to convince me that Matthew Lillard wasn't in this movie, and then at the end he unmasks himself and it is Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
But instead they went the route of like, what you want is actually dumb, which is the same kind of smugness that like but World of Warcraft, like in 2014, 2015, someone was like, hey, do you think that they'll ever put out servers of the game as it was when it first released in like 2004? And the very famous in the game community response was, you think you want that, but you don't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this movie feels like. Where it's just like, no, we all definitely want that. That's why we all bought a ticket. Why would you just fucking rip my dick off like that?
When they go to that insane asylum and they're talking about the guy that got hit by the car by Courtney Cox, who was in that asylum, and the worker who turns out to be the killer is telling you that tale about they were friends here. This guy who had amnesia, who turns out to be Stu, not really Stu, and they became friends, and Stu was just a guy who came here with amnesia and, got released, whatever.
Yeah.
When they were saying that, I was like, I buy that.
I'm in.
Like,
I was in 100%. I love that. And two things. One, the original idea for Scream 3 was that Stu was going to kind of like, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, like start like kind of a cult. And like from prison, he was going to be talking young kids into doing what he did at their high schools.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why they didn't do that was because of Columbine, I guess. I don't understand, but great, And so what I'm trying to say is, like, yes, like I feel like recycling that, but making it, an older Stu who maybe even faked amnesia.
Yeah.
And, he talks his, like, crazy, bunkmate at the insane asylum into going and doing that for him. Great. Maybe he talks a couple other people into doing it. Great. And then that's how you, end the film, with...
Yeah.
Just with it being Matthew Lillard, actually.
I love Monday morning quarterbacking this movie. Yeah, have all of this happen, but like have the realization that it's Stu come like maybe halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
And without any proof, and then do that interview scene where they go on live TV.
Yeah.
And Nev Campbell goes, "I believe that this is Stu Macher. I know that's crazy. I know it sounds like a conspiracy theory, yada yada." And then she gets a phone call, not a FaceTime, phone call from Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
Where he tells her she's on the right track, and then the rest of the movie, you get more ghost-faced, and instead of there just being 2 or 3 of them, have a couple of them, where they're just more kids that he's getting involved in this, or like the kids from the beginning of the last one. Remember when they're in New York, and there's those kids that love Last Podcast on the Left and stuff like that?
And it can be one of those things also where, like, like I'm just imagining in my head, like, the monologues and stuff like that, that thing of, like, where he's like, talking about how, like, at first, after it happened, I felt bad and stuff like that, but look at what I've created. Look at what lives on because of what I've done. I'd be, insane not to, like, embrace this and, like, that kind of thing. Or like, one of the other things that I thought was
They've made so many stab movies, and I've got not a one royalty check.
Yeah, exactly. And, another thing that I was thinking about, like, in terms of the, like, you push believability with, like, all of these, like, crazy, like, ways for people to, like, I read your self-help book, and then I realized I don't even need you is like the big thing at the end of this one, right? Like the way for people to monologue about why they're doing this murder. And when I was sitting at the theater, I was like, I've got a bone-chilling one that I feel like could work so perfectly. Like, whoever it is, it doesn't matter, but like just have the monologue be like, because you're the one that got away. Like, if I kill you, like that kind of a thing. Like, I'm after you just because nobody can, like that kind of a thing. Like, oh, like that's pretty good too. I mean, I don't know why it always has to be this crazy thing of like, I don't know why it always has to be bananas. That's all I'm trying to say. It always has to be so bananas. This one's bananas. It's a guy.
It was the most forced. Like, it was the least motivation I think any killers had in any of these movies. Yeah. She didn't like the self-help book, and then the other guy did it because it could be cool.
He liked her, I think, or something.
Yeah,
I think he
probably,
liked her, maybe, or.
Yeah. Also, you see her for 90 seconds in this movie before she's turns out to be the killer.
Yeah, and that's something I told Zeta. I was like, in the first one, I like the twist because it's like Billy and Stu are in fucking every scene. So when you watch it again...
And from the beginning of the movie, it's going, Billy's the killer, Billy's the killer, Billy's the killer. Yeah, sorry.
And when you watch it again, you get all of this content of just watching them be like the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
All the other films, I told Zeta this, like, afterwards, she was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, every other one is like, the way you figure out who did the killings... 100% of the time is whoever has the least amount of screen time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The person or two that only show up for a scene or two, that's going to be the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And, like, God, it's so, I mean, and I'm not saying that this would be easy to do something else like this, but I just love Scream 1 so much. It's so good that the whole movie, it's telling you it's Stu.
Yeah.
Till the end where you start believing it's Stu, and then not Stu, that it's
Billy,
and then you watch Billy die.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, fuck, it wasn't Billy. And then it's just like, oh, double fuck, it's Billy and Stu.
Yeah.
Oh, like, the only way it, like, subverts your expectations is by that fake out, whereas the rest of them subvert your expectations by never giving you any information.
Yeah, it reminds me of, like, the twist of the original Friday the 13th, which is a movie I love, but the twist is that it is a character who is not in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Pamela Voorhees does not show up until she's like, why, I'm Mrs. Voorhees. I used to be the cook here. And it's like, okay, well, you don't have a mystery. There's no way I could have uncovered that. But anyway, so the film itself. We open. I like this small town. Cozy.
Yep.
But at the same time, this movie, you know what this feels like to me? This feels like Texas Chainsaw 2024 or 2022 or whatever, that one that we saw. It has that same vibe with like that small town strip, just a different kind of coloring. But yeah, so Nev Campbell is married to Jeff Winger,
which I love. Put him and Matthew Lillard and everything. I love both of them.
And they have a daughter named Tatum.
Which this whole movie, when they're like, she was the bravest, she was my best friend, and she was the bravest person I ever knew, and yada yada. It's like,
not trying to be rude, but she was just a 17-year-old kid. You're mythologizing a person a little too much.
She died because she got stuck in a dog door.
Yeah,
like that's. Crazy.
She was like, "Please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel." And that's pretty funny. And she was, but yeah.
And like, no offenses to this fictional woman who was murdered, but the bravest person you ever met was murdered running away. Like, that's sorry. Go on.
So they do I mean, again, this is Kevin Williamson's bag. This is what he likes to do. But a lot of melodrama in this one. A lot of, like, daughter-mother talks that just don't really land.
Yeah. You know what I did like, though?
What'd you like?
I liked Joel McHale being there.
Yeah.
And every time a fight would end, he would look at her and go, "That one was on you." Yeah. Or he would go, "You were right in that one." Yeah. I liked him being there.
I had some problems with her, like, inability to talk about her past, but I did like her little bit of explanation of, like, there's like 90 movies about it and 8 books also. If you want to know anything, you can read it. It's like, okay,
that's a great point.
Like, my whole childhood is out there. But yeah, she owns a small coffee shop in this tiny town. And the only time of, like, 2 that we meet the killer before the end of it is she sits down to have this talk where she's like, "Me and Tatum are having a rough patch lately," and then it's just this little scene with coffee where 2 moms are just kind of talking about how she's like, "Oh yeah, kids will be like that," and
she's getting to. I think she says something along the lines. She says something along the lines of, like, she's at that age where they just want to know more about you and your life. I'm like, is that an age that you get to that you want to know more about your mom's life? Yeah. I mean, I think you just always would like to know who your mom is. It's not like a certain age that you get to. Where, Mom, how come you won't tell me about your past?
Yeah. That's something with my dad. Sometimes he's not a very sentimental guy. So, like, sometimes I'm like, when you're a kid, did you like to swim? He's like, "I don't fucking know. I was a kid." I'm like, all right, thanks, Dad.
But I think it's more fun the natural way, where my dad, also not a very sentimental guy, where he has stories that he just has never told me, and they'll just come out of nowhere. My dad told me, like, a couple years ago, that his neighbor growing up worked at the Detroit Zoo. She was a vet for the Detroit Zoo and would bring animals home sometimes.
Whoa, what do you mean bring animals home?
Like, overnight to, like, treat them and stuff like that. And very frequently had a monkey named, like, Bobo or something like that.
Okay.
Over, like, for days at a time. And my dad would go over there and hang out and play with Bobo.
Wow.
My dad's like, I went back there as a teenager to the Detroit Zoo. I hadn't seen him in, like, 5-6 years or something like that. And I went to the monkey enclosure, and Bobo remembered me.
Wow.
I went, "Dad, I am, at the time, 25. It has been 25 years, and you did not tell me that you had a significant friendship with a monkey growing up. That's way better than my dad just sitting me down and going, 'Look, you could watch the movie about it, but I was friends with a monkey growing up.'"
That's what I was imagining when you said Monkey Bone was about a monkey. That's the kind of movie I was expecting.
My Dad's Life, yeah.
Yeah, I was not expecting what we got. Anyways, so Scream 7.
Her daughter's abysmal, this actress.
You know,
all the kids are just abysmal. Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I would love to go back to the days of Scream 1 where all of my teenagers are pushing 30. You know?
Let's get some motherfuckers in here with life experience.
Let's get some motherfuckers in here who can act in a film, you know?
But they're hanging out. They're all theater kids. And
the girl that dies first, I liked her, though.
Yeah, I like her. Adults are being very inappropriate to this little girl because, like, her theater teacher's like, "Why don't you bring out a little more Sidney Prescott or whatever?" It's like, that's a crazy thing to say to a lady, a daughter of a lady who has been tried to murdered like 5 times. It's not okay. Anyways, she's like shy, nebbish, and she wants to become brave like her mom. What else is going on? Yeah, they're hanging out. The mom obviously thinks the boyfriend's the one doing the murders. He's kind of a red herring.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She's shy and nebbish, and she's like, wants to be brave like her mom because she feels like she's not. But also, it doesn't come through in her character at all.
Yeah.
Like if
she's always like so shouty with her mom.
Yeah, she's always so shouty with her mom,
brash.
and her and all of her friends look like they belong on the Disney Channel. Like they're just the main characters of a Disney Channel show instead of like a shy, meek girl who feels like she's been held back by her mom, and her mom has made her an insecure person. Like, just
I hear you.
If you're gonna do that, do it. You know?
Yeah, I hear you. We get not that many kills here.
Sure.
We get the stuff at the high school.
Yeah, she's up on the
wire.
wire.
Which, again, the AI, FaceTime, whatever, but Stu Macher basically calling and being like, oh, hey, look, I'm at your daughter's high school. That'd be pretty spooky if it was actually Stu, but it's not. And then she's kind of like grounded. And I do find there to be something kind of spooky about like the half-finished garage thing that like Joel McHale gets, I thought murdered, but I guess mostly murdered in.
He gets
like,
mostly murdered
without anyone realizing. Yeah. It just reminds me of like, how like the dad in the first one's kidnapped for the whole movie. You don't realize until the end when like he comes out of the closet. Like that's the kind of spooky stuff. Like to me, that's unsettling. That the whole time everything else plays out from that point. Dad's dead in the garage, but nobody knows. Yeah, like that's scary, but they don't. It doesn't land as well as it should. But
especially because he's fine.
Yeah, because he lived. Yeah, very strange.
He just got stabbed in the gut multiple times and just hung out for.
That's kind of a classic with this series.
Full day and a half. Yeah,
like that time that that Mason guy got stabbed like 49 times, and he's just like, "Oh fuck, they're stabbing the shit out of me." And,
you gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
it's so good.
So funny.
So a girl dies at school. There's a curfew. They recreate the shot from the first movie the scenes, the sequence of everybody running home. Everyone's home. Ghostface shows up at the house. He's hiding in the crawl space.
Spooky. I've got one of those.
She has... Do you have the behind the bookcase bunker?
No.
How do you feel about that? Because I know you hate Laurie Strode?
Yeah.
From Halloween?
Not a fan.
You didn't like it? You didn't like just a safe room in the house?
No.
Okay. I buy that.
Yeah. How much does one of those cost? I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
It's weird.
She got that book money, though.
It's weird. Yeah, she does.
Got that book money. He got that cop money.
What money Laurie Strode got?
That's a good question. But she's just got like a ramshackle place in her house that she's been building for 100 years.
Yeah.
How much do you think a safe room costs in your house?
I don't know, man. You want to look it up real quick?
I am. Go ahead. Talk about the movie for a little bit. I'll do some research.
Yeah. So then, this is another part of the movie that I don't like, but again, I wouldn't be harping on if it was Stu Macher was actually in the fucking film. But the way that Courtney Cox and the two of the core four show up is just
crazy,
out of this world. That is insane. They just... I sound like an idiot for even complaining about it, is how dumb it is, in my opinion.
Chris, how big do you want your safe room to be?
Big enough for me and my husband and my daughter.
So 6x12?
Great.
4x8?
Let's say 6x12.
6x12. A 6x12 safe room is going to cost you about $13,000.
That's not much.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Not that bad.
Not that bad.
If you want one of these,
she can have one.
ElephantSaferooms.com.
She can have one. It just, I don't know. I get it. But it just seems like, to me, the kind of thing you get to hide from, like, a nuclear bomb or, like, Magneto, not, like, a guy with a knife. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it always bothers me. Maybe I should say that instead of just being like, it's weird. But, like, yeah, I don't know. It just seems more of, like, a natural disaster response than a guy with a knife to me. I don't know.
I get that, but also...
But I know.
If you're gonna have one, you're gonna put it in your movie, don't immediately make your characters go, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Stay in the safe room. Call the police.
Yeah.
But yeah, then so Courtney Cox and the two of the core four show up by running over the killer in the height of the action. They just happened to be driving to Woodsboro from wherever else in the world they were because Courtney Cox's spidey senses went off.
Well, the murder happened at the high school.
Yeah, and they just happened to arrive at the right time.
Oh, great point. Great point. Great point. They arrive. Courtney Cox is scary to look at. That was mean. I shouldn't have said that. She is, though. We talked about plastic surgery at the beginning of the episode.
It's unfortunate. It's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but yeah, it's like when someone gets a botched tattoo or something like that. It's like, yeah, I mean, no disrespect to you, but like that does not look good, you know?
They show up. Her and Nev Campbell talk. They don't have chemistry.
No.
It's very strange. It's tough watching them talk to each other.
For sure.
The two of the core four, the terrific two, coming, like I said, are just a shot of energy in this movie because the rest of these kids are just abysmal. Can't get over it. There's that like will they, won't they between the like the scary neighbor kid and the girl with the pigtails, and it's like, ooh, oof, 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 just oof. This is tough. All of it's tough. And then they sneak out to a bar, or is that the next day?
This is the same night. Yeah, they sneak out to the bar because the Terrific 2 want to like suss out who the killer is in the friend group, and the daughter's like, I want to be brave like my mom, so let's do that. And so then they all go to the bar.
I got a jacket on. I have power.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of Dream Warriors or whatever, maybe Dream Master, when like she's like, I got my friend's punk bracelet on, so now I know karate like him.
Yeah, how did I forget about that?
Anyways.
That's great.
Yeah.
They just get executed at this bar, which is, I would say, the best part of this movie.
Yeah, for sure. I like the bar tap. The head and the beer comes out.
Yes.
The head and the beer comes out of the mouth, and
But just the cat and the mouse around the bar wasn't great.
Yeah.
Could have been better. Also, she goes into her boyfriend's car and finds a video he was making of him, like, oh, I was just seeing if I could make a deep fake of Schumacher myself. But he's like getting really into it while doing it. So she's like, it was you. And it's like, okay.
Why even do it?
And then she just runs down the street for an indeterminate amount of time. And then it cuts to her just stopping and going in the middle of the street and going, oh, I think I'm safe. And turning around and seeing him and going, oh, and then running again.
Yeah. She ends up at her mom's little coffee shop, little cafe.
And then
Neve Campbell took off on foot instead of getting in a car.
They did the interview to try and suss out Stu, I guess.
But pretty easy to just be like, Courtney Cox, car, now.
Yeah, anybody, car, now. Uber, now.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't work because she needs to be standing there and looking at the phone and not at the cafe in time.
Yeah.
Really bummed me out that her teenage daughter, she goes to get the gun out of the safe. She's the combination is your birthday, and she types in like something 08. That really bummed me out.
Yeah.
She's younger than the Dark Knight. Crazy. She gets a gun. She's shooting them through walls and stuff like that. And then the second one shows up, and they just like hug her at the same time and knock her out, I guess.
Put her to sleep. From there, they bring her back to the house.
Yeah. And then the whole shebang happens.
Yeah, where they reveal that it was an AI deepfake and that it's the lady who gave advice to Neve Campbell and the guy from the insane asylum.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love how small she is in the Ghostface suit.
Yeah. And then the reveal is, like we said a moment ago, the lady's like, I read your self-help book, but then I realized I don't need you, or whatever, or something, whatever. Who really cares? And the other guy's like, I worked at Google, so I know how to do AI stuff, and I guess I wanted to sleep with the blonde lady or something. And then Joel McHale's able to kind of like help his daughter break out, and there's blah, 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 and then Neve Campbell and the blonde lady, fight at the end, and then the mother-daughter they obliterate this lady with bullets.
They really do.
Yeah, they crazy big time shoot her a bunch until her face is nothing but mush.
And she says something like, I'm Sidney frickin' Prescott's daughter, bitch.
Yeah.
And then they play the song from the first one, over the credits, and it's over.
Yeah.
Oh, we totally forgot. The worst part of this movie is when they show up at her house. They play like a DVD menu graphics of going through Stu's house. And it's all the AI deepfakes of all the other killers from the movie. But nowadays, David Arquette, crazy that they let him just have his hair like that.
Looks like Edgar Allan Poe.
Looks exactly like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
He looks like Paul F. Tompkins playing Edgar Allan Poe. And then the aunt from Roseanne is there.
Someone should check on David Arquette, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. The guy from Scrubs is there, too. And I feel like it would be way more work to like AI them as old people for the characters in movies' sake. But like Paramount or whoever's making this movie, they could have done it. They could have younged them up like they did to Billy. Anyway, that sucked. That was awful. And
Another
the
thing
movie's
we forgot.
over. What did we forget?
The opening, which is actually probably the part of this film that I like the most.
Yes.
Because it's a little corny and it's a little hokey, but at the end of the day, this is the kind of stuff that I feel like if Scream is gonna do social commentary, there you go. Like, a place where actual murders happen, getting turned into an Airbnb and being inhabited by a guy obsessed with true crime. Like,
yes,
I'm that guy. We're all that guy. That is something that happens in real life these days. But I will say this: I don't like the angle that everybody takes with it of like, what's going on with us now that we're so obsessed with this sick shit? Because we always have been.
Yeah.
Back in the day when things like, frickin' the Lizzie Borden shit would happen, like hundreds of people would frickin' travel from across the world to be as close to the fucking circus of this as possible. Their books, true crime, like even back in the day, Ed Gein was obsessed with frickin' true crime. That's the fucking like 40s and 50s. All I'm trying to say is like, people used to go watch fucking like hangings happen, to like have picnic and watch a guy get fucking hung in the 1800s. Not trying to, I'm just saying like that's just the part of the human condition is a morbid curiosity with like, predators, deaths, danger, a safe outlet for experiencing fear without actually being in real danger. Is not like some kind of like I don't like the thing where it's like, what's wrong with you, you sick fuck, like that. No, everybody does that. It's very normal.
However, this time around for the opening scene, the time-honored tradition of having a large celebrity come in, a la Drew Barrymore, to be killed immediately, or Jada Pinkett
you're sounding
Smith.
a lot like Jamie Carter Kennedy right now.
Jada Pinkett Smith in the second one, or Jada Pinkett at the time.
Yeah.
The third one was, Sabretooth. What's his name?
I know
Cotton Weary.
I know it. His name's like Liev Schreiber.
It is exactly Liev Schreiber. Yes, great job. There was like 9 people at the beginning of Scream 4.
Very funny. I like that opening as well.
Scream 5 was the fake out. It was Jenna Ortega, but then she ends up living. She's the main character. 6.
I like the 6 opening.
Was Samara Weaving.
And I think in 6 there's a scene where Tim Robinson does a cameo as a voice.
That's a lot of fun.
He just calls like from the other room. He's like, babe, I'm in the shower or something. I would never know other than I heard it.
It's very funny.
Yeah, someone said it.
This movie made me feel older than realizing our main character was born in 2008, because I've never seen either of these people before in my life. Really bummed me out the entire time.
Yeah. You're like, who are these guys? Are they famous, or are they just kind of nobodies? Or
let me see. Jimmy Tetro is the boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen this man before. What is he in? He's in The Machine, the Burt Kreischer movie. Never seen it.
I was gonna say, you watched that?
No. He's he's the kid from. Do you remember American Vandal? Like fake
I remember, but I've never
about
seen it.
It was good.
Yeah, no, you were a fan. Yes.
And he is in seemingly nothing else. I don't know where I would recognize him from. I guess. And
so
the woman who is with him is one of 9 blonde women in this movie, so I cannot pick her out of the IMDb thing, unfortunately.
The movie was made for $45 million. It has made $150 million already, which means that it's probably going to get another movie. I'm ready for him to go to space.
Oh yeah, shoot him up.
Send him to space.
Strap a helmet on Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox and shoot their asses up there. Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but let's go to space. Anyways, it's bad. But in my opinion, I'm not trying to be rude. There are things I enjoy about all the sequels, but in general, I don't think any of them are like good.
Yeah.
I don't know how much worse this one is for the most part than the other ones, except for I do have to hold a grudge for like just the bait and switch on like, yeah, you're dumb for thinking that we would just bring Stu Macher back. He's dead. Like Matthew Lillard has said in countless interviews, a TV fell on his head. It ain't that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's something that he's been saying for years, where he's just like, he's like, I've talked to Kevin Williamson a couple times. I'm like, bring me back. Like, a TV fell on my head. It's not that big of a deal.
So I would say for just alone
the AI Matthew Lillard stuff, I gotta give it an F.
Yeah, for the just incredible mishandling of generational talent Matthew Lillard, I'm giving this movie an F. If Scream 8 comes out and it turns out at the end that he is alive and he is the killer, that movie will get an A+ from me. Doesn't matter how bad the rest of the movie is, but if he's like, it was just a TV, I am alive, A+.
It just sucks because, again, like, there were so many things about this movie that I feel like is like fertile ground for this to work.
Yes.
I like her being in that small little town and Stu Macher coming back for even like some of the little taunts where he's like, oh, you found a really nice little town. It reminds me of the town we grew up in. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty gross. Thanks, Matthew Lillard, for giving me the chills. But anyways, so we watched another film, Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Oh boy, did we!
Yeah,
I don't know. I closed that for dramatic effect. I still needed that open.
Yeah,
but oh boy, did we!
So start off a little bit with talking about the show, and you've been watching it and stuff.
Nirvana, the band, the show is a show based on a web series called Nirvana, the band. Yeah. Just about two guys named Matt and Jay who are in a band and they want to play a show at the Rivoli, which is a club across the street from where they live.
Yeah. This was huge in the 90s. Two guys trying to, quote unquote, like, land a gig, but it's a comedy thing.
Yes.
Tenacious D, Flight of the Conchords, The Mighty Boosh.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the big fat guy, little skinny guy of our time.
Yeah.
Is a band trying to get a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the web series and then they did the TV show on Vice. And since
is that where the series was? It was on Vice?
Yes, which is why you can't find it anywhere because Vice went under.
Yeah.
I've been listening to like interviews and stuff with them lately about it, and I saw a bunch of like interviews and listened to podcasts and stuff like that talking about the show, and like they like I don't know, like did like the pilot or something like that, and had to go to Vice to ask for more money or something like that to finish it, and they had to talk to Spike Jonze because he was like ahead of that, in charge of that Vice. And he needed to see the show first, so they showed him like a rough cut of the first season, and they walked out of there with a contract for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Not just the money to finish the pilot.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And then before season 3 could come out, Vice went under.
Oof.
And so season 3 never came out. They shot a bunch of it, but for some contractual reason, they had to air 1 episode of it. So they aired the first episode unedited, unfinished, at like 4 a.m. on Vice once. But yeah, that's why you can't find it anywhere. You can find it, but it's tough.
That reminds me, on a side note, a little more topical. Fox News the other day had to apologize.
Oh.
Because of all the things. This is insane. Because I once remember them having like fucking, I can't remember the guy's name, but it's like 2007, 2008 this happened. They had one of their fucking pundits or whatever on there talking about how like, supposedly like, whatever, a quarter of Americans live under, the poverty line. But what even is the poverty line at this point? Because those same people, 80% of American households have a microwave. 94% have at least 2 televisions.
Oh yeah, that's like that's like Sean Hannity.
That's some throwback. Or also another one of my favorites, which is Tucker Carlson being like, diversity is our strength. I'm sorry. When did having nothing in common with your neighbor become our strength? Things like that. Crazy. Horrible. Just egregious. Crazy. Yeah, those are the kinds of things that like again, like, obviously, Fox News is just an evil propaganda. I love when people say it's Cocomelon for boomers, because that's exactly what it is. Like, my grandpa's brain is mush, and this propaganda machine just gets to be like, what if we just stomp around in the mush like we're making grape flavored wine or whatever? You know what I'm saying? It's like
all wine's grape flavored. Sorry,
you know what I'm saying? But it's just like it should be illegal. And like Mr. Martin Luther King Jr., I'm a big fan of like the have hate for the system. Try not to hate the individual kind of a thing. I can't. I don't know how mad I could be at my grandpa for having Cocomelon mush brain and is getting manipulated by Fox News. But it is fucking terribly sad, and I don't talk to him nearly as much as I used to, which is sad because he's very close to being dead, and I would like to share the last few years I have with my grandpa, but he also has Cocomelon Fox News mush brain. But the reason why I bring this up in the first place is because they did apologize for something they did. Which, again, of all the things they apologize for, this fucking asinine. But the airing at 4 a.m. thing reminded me of it because they, what it was, like at least 6 people, American soldiers have died in the Iran war conflict, Operation Fury already. And they had like a little funeral thing or whatever for it. And Trump showed up like wearing like a fucking baseball cap and like looking like he didn't give a shit or whatever. But Fox intentionally aired footage of him at another funeral not wearing the ball cap because it looked more dignified, which they then had to apologize for. But they apologized that on Sunday at like 3 a.m. so nobody would see it.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah. Anyways, away from all of that depressing, horrible, soul rotting and like just crushing thing. But I will say one more thing.
Okay.
One more thing. I saw this TikTok, which was it was this black gentleman, and he was talking about how like just in the black world, like it's mostly left and like you know, you don't really have to hear that kind of like tomfoolery ridiculousness of like the MAGA stuff. He's like, but he's like, I don't know if you've seen white people lately, but they are just dead in the eyes. Like they are beyond hopeless. And he was like, check in on your white friends or whatever. He's like, because clearly they do not have the resilience muscle. He's like, us, like, you know, black folk, like we've had hard times and we've had like shit go away, which we don't want it to go. We know we're going to be fine, but white people are crushed right now. This is like the first time they've ever had to face even a fraction of like the bleakness that like we deal with every day.
Yeah.
And it was just very funny because it was like an empathetic dunking on just like how much like I feel like there are a lot of people, like specifically my white friends, are just like, the world is over. And it's like, brother, there are people in this country from like Brazil that went through like 10 times worse shit in like the 70s and 80s that like live here now. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like this thing, this happens to every country. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, bad shit happens in life. Like, this happens. Sometimes somebody you don't want to be in power comes into power, and it sucks. And it would be cool if, you know, something happened, but shit doesn't happen overnight. So, gotta be patient and, you know, just hang out. But back to Nirvana, the band, the show.
Yes,
the movie.
They aired the episode at 4 a.m. Anyway,
sorry about the little political rant.
You're totally fine. It's just impossible to find anywhere. And after the show went off the air, I think they both I think Jay does like film scores and stuff like that, and Matt directs movies. He's got a few movies that I would like to see that I think we should watch for this. He's got a movie called The Dirties, which is about like kids in a high school, but he shot it in an actual high school without the high schoolers knowing he was an actor.
Yeah.
And then he shot a movie called Operation Avalanche, which is about 2 filmmakers helping Stanley Kubrick fake the moon landing.
Nice.
And I bring that up only because it like leads into like because I don't know how much you know about the show or like the whole vibe of what the movie is either.
Not much.
Everyone who's not them in this movie is just a real person.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Which I do like that blending of reality TV. There's a show on HBO coming out that I want to watch called Neighbors.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta see that shit. Anyways, but Nathan Fielder, obviously, like the Nathan For You stuff, where like, you know, none of the people he's interacting with know exactly what. Yes, yeah.
But what I like about this is the joke is never on those people.
No, yeah. Like, just to jump ahead for one moment, when they're in the fucking hardware store trying to buy that dude, he's like, I'm a libertarian, so you have the liberty to do so, but he's like, at the same time, I also feel like I have the responsibility to tell you not to do that fucking shit.
I love it. It's so good. But
and then he's like, tries to dap on him. He's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna fucking do that.
It's so good. But the thing that I really like about them, what they're really good at, is like the whole like fair use law and like doing things quote unquote guerrilla style for as little money as possible. And even though this is a time travel movie, so I guarantee you it took a lot of money, they go out of their way to like steal shots or like film things without permits or like do what they can. Like I've seen a clip going on recently where Jay in real life won an award for something, I can't remember what, and it's him like giving an acceptance speech and like thanking a couple of people and then thanking Matt from Nirvana the band about how like, you know, we've been doing this since we were kids and he's my partner, like doing what we got to do to like do this and steal shots. And speaking of which, if you'd help me out real quick, and Matt comes and runs up to the stage and hands him a fake Grammy, and he goes, if you could just pretend to present this to me, and he's with the presenter, and like he's wearing this ridiculous suit because they're shooting something, they're stealing footage for this movie when he becomes famous and stuff like that. And I brought up The Dirties and Operation Avalanche because there's an episode of the show where they try to make a movie, which the plot of is just The Dirties, basically, and they go into a real high school in Canada to try and do this thing, get kicked out, and they film something or whatever and call it. In the show, the movie is called Operation Avalanche, which in real life was the Kubrick movie that he directed that was in Sundance. So they went to Sundance to film an episode of Nirvana the band, the show, and like without telling anybody else that was interviewing them for Operation Avalanche, all the interviews that they were giving they were talking about the fake movie in the show.
Yeah.
And it's just great. It's just shit like that, and I love it to pieces. I should have structured this out, but I'm just rambling about this.
That's anyway, right. Yeah, I feel like it bleeds well into what the show and movie seem to be, which is, you know,
they also made that movie Blackberry with Dennis from It's Always Sunny.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Anyway. Now they made the movie. Chris,
Yeah.
without seeing the show at all or anything like that, I made you go see this. What did you think about this movie?
I like the movie.
Great.
Yeah.
Love to hear that.
Yeah. They're funny guys.
It's great.
They're funny guys.
I also really like, as soon as it started, I was pretty stoked that it starts in 2008, and they kind of just catch you up on what the show is first before the movie. It's great. I love it. I love it. So good.
Yeah. So, the film.
Yes.
It's kind of like that episode of Family Guy.
It's kind of like that episode of Family Guy. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, you start in 2008, which with what I can only assume is like the first episode of the show or something, or is this like not something you've seen before, or what is this?
It's part of the web series. I've seen that clipped out of the episode it's from, but I don't know if it's from the first episode or not.
Yeah. And they do a pretty seamless job of like, I don't know what kind of prep they've done beforehand, or if it's just all kind of computer generated or whatever, but like however they mesh the shots and like have the talking, and I don't know.
The most impressive part of this movie to me is like, it's something that I get a lot watching the show, but this movie more so is like when they're like interacting with themselves, or the part where like the young them go, hey, those guys look just like us. I'm like, how are they doing this?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way that they like film this stuff and we're like, we should make a time travel
in 25
movie
years we're gonna make a time travel
insane
movie.
But also I wouldn't put it past them. Also, I like not knowing.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, starts out, you just get the little, Matt Johnson is the harebrained scheme guy. Jay is, I would almost say almost like an idiot savant. He's like incredibly good at the music stuff, but he's dumber than Matt. So Matt gets to kind of control him, not through force, but because Jay's just like, oh, okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
he doesn't have enough smarts to be like, you're a mentally ill person.
Yes, I can't remember who I heard say this, but it's something I love about their duo, and it comes through in the show and the movie as well. He's the straight man, but he's equally as dumb as him.
Well, that's the thing is like, and as I was talking, I thought about how like even the name of the film Dumb and Dumber is actually pretty good, because like that is exactly how you describe most comedy duos. They're both dumb, but one is dumber.
Yeah.
But at any time, it's kind of flip-flopped as the who is actually the dumber, I guess. But anyways, continue. But so, flash forward 25 years or whatever, and they're basically doing the same shit. It's kind of a thrilling sequence because they do it very well. They pawn it off as if they're like actually sneaking to the top of CN Tower to parachute off the top into the Sky Dome and basically be like, ladies and gentlemen, like we're Nirvana the band or whatever. We got a show tonight at the Rivoli, that kind of thing. And there's some great laughs in there, like I mentioned earlier when they're in the hardware store and they're like asking a guy like which clippers they need to like clip through like the safety harness on the top of CN Tower. Very good.
Fucking when they're going through security and he pulls out the pliers, he goes, "What are these for?" He goes, "Just like my
cutting shit off my pants."
Cut shit off my pants. He's got pliers here. He says they're for cutting his pants.
Yeah.
All right, go on through. Or when they're putting their stuff in, and they tell the camera guy to put his camera away, and then like they're putting their stuff in the metal detector, and Jay goes, "I got a wireless mic here." It's so good.
Yeah, it's good. But they land on top of the Sky Dome, dome because they close it. Yada yada yada. They go home. Jay is disillusioned because he realizes like, damn. Like, where could my life be now if I hadn't spent the last 25 years just like listening to whatever Matt says?
Which happens all the time in the show. I love it.
Yeah, which, there is often, again, it just reminds me of those other things I cited earlier, like Tenacious D or like Mighty Boosh or blah, 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 blah. Like with Tenacious D, they're always, it's always the Jack Black kicks Kyle out of the band. That's like always the thing that happens. And then they always end up getting back together by the end of the episode of the show or the, It's crazy that these were all TV shows too.
Yeah.
Tenacious D on HBO and was Flight of the Conchords also on HBO? Did HBO do two separate duo rock musician shows?
They could have got this one too if they weren't cowards.
Yeah, Mighty Boosh was BBC and whatnot, and anyways, but so that happens simultaneously. Matt is hatching a Back to the Future scheme.
Mm-hmm. Which also I didn't mention earlier, just so you know, every episode of the TV show is like this, where they are pairing a movie that they just watched.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is how a lot of the like fair use stuff comes into it.
Sure.
Like I watched an episode yesterday where they just through the entire things are just playing all of John Williams' Indiana Jones score. It's so fucking funny.
One of the biggest laughs for me is to jump forward. There's a scene where they're in 2008 and they're in their apartment. They're hiding in the closet and they're like sitting through a rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a time jump where it's like 11 o'clock at night and they've been playing the same song over and over again.
Yeah.
And then they like stop for a second to play like something new, and then it cuts to another scene where they go back to the first song, but like more of a like initially the song that they're singing that they do over and over again is like this one where, you know, Matt is like cream corn, I am your nemesis, you know, can opener, you know, and then once they come back from the other song they took a little detour on, he's like, cream corn, you son of a bitch. It's just so like intense.
And also, also lived through all of it, through the whole movie and the show and stuff like that. They don't have an act for the Rivoli when they get a show. That little break they take, though, you know, have you seen the clip of them doing the like Nintendo Wii Shop song?
Mm-mm.
There's like a clip that is viral-ish that like I see pop up all the time. There are like Twitter accounts that post it every Wednesday because it's fun. I'll show it to you later, but it's just like a clip that I see constantly online. That little break where they're not doing the song anymore while they're hiding in the closet is them doing that video, and it like happens at the same time that they say it happens in the video. It's fun. I like it. Hatch in the time machine plan. He makes the fake time machine from Back to the Future.
While Jay is calling Ottawa to schedule an open mic.
Yes.
And his plan is to drive all the way to Ottawa for this open mic. But little does he know that Jay angrily fell asleep in the RV. So in the morning, when Jay does his little sneak out.
He fell asleep in the RV and also spilled orbits on it, which is the key to time travel, which is apparently a very Canadian thing. I've never heard of orbits before.
You never heard of orbits?
No.
I know of orbits. Mainly because of things like I'm a very big fan of the LA Beast.
Okay.
And he's always eating very old food. Like he'll like eat a can of like tomato sauce from 100 years ago or whatever.
Sick.
Stuff like that. But
alive, this man?
Yeah, he's the one that got Crystal Pepsi brought back. Because of the viral video where he drinks one from the 80s and it's bad and he throws up everywhere. But these days he doesn't do that so much as he's like, he'll do things like where he's like, hey, you know, LA Beast here is like, you know, when I was growing up, they would always have like holiday editions of cereal. So I got my hands on, you know, like it'll be like 6 different cereals from like 86, 87, 88, 89, whatever. And it's just like, and then I'll, you know, eat it and it'll be like, tastes like, you know, like the way that my grandma's clothes smell, the ones that she forgot in the closet, that kind of thing. And one thing that I always think is very funny is when he brings it out, he's like, this box of Halloween-themed 1998 cereal, which I got off of eBay for $74.38. Like, always mentions the price. Very funny. But anyway, so yeah, orbits. Yeah, it's just like I have an interest in like oddities of like marketing and products. Of like, I even watch Company Man, which is a YouTube channel where a guy just talks about like what made them successful or what made them like fail, like companies. Like it'll just go through the whole history of a company in like 10 minutes and talk about why they have done well or not done well. And it's just like kind of a young, maybe slightly autistic, effeminate guy who's just like, you know, like, hey, just like, hey, Texas Roadhouse, everywhere you drive, you see them all the time. But, you know, what's going on there? That kind of thing. They'll go into it about it. Whatever. All I'm trying to say is, yes, I've heard of orbits. I was aware.
You know ball. Okay.
I know orbits.
He spells orbits. That makes the time machine work.
Yeah.
They don't realize it. They travel back to 2008 without knowing it.
Yeah. I would like to say, I think I'm probably the Matt and you're probably the Jay.
I'd love that. Thank you. It's because you're blonde and I have brown hair. Yeah.
Yeah. They go back to 2008.
They go to back to 2008. Which
and how do we know it's 2008?
It makes sense because, it makes sense with the footage that they have that they would have to go back to 2008. But I think conceptually, it is so fucking funny to time travel back to 2008.
Yeah.
Like, that's the funniest year you can time travel to.
It's good.
They know because they crashed into a stand. They don't know. But we know because they crashed into a stand full of magazines with Bill Cosby on the cover.
Yeah.
And then a bus drives by with a Got Milk ad with Jared from Subway on it.
Yes.
And then they find out because they go into the movies.
Well, also there's the Black Eyed Peas are playing.
Let's
on
get
the radio.
R-word in here. Yes. Forgot about that. And then they go into
a movie theater that is playing The Hangover, Hellboy 2, and one other film.
I can't remember the third one, but yeah, I remember those two. They go and see The Hangover, and they realize they're in 2008.
Yeah.
from the paging Dr. F slur.
Yeah. As soon as that line comes out, when Matt Johnson's like, "Oh no!"
And what makes him realize is how just
everybody
laughing. That's probably the hardest laugh for me in this movie. Is everybody else laughing at him.
Yeah. I was surprised how much laughter was happening in the theater.
In your theater?
Yeah. People were busting a gut.
I was surprised at how many people were there in my theater. Yeah.
Same, honestly, because I just saw it at like 8:00 on a Tuesday.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah. And there was at least like a dozen people in there, which again, in the modern era of like, the only time I've been in a packed theater in the last like 10 years is like for a Marvel or something, or a Star Wars, So like for there to be anyone other than one other guy in a movie theater is like remarkable.
Love that.
So,
Jay still doesn't believe that they're in 2008. He gets on the bus until he sees a poster for The Dark Knight, Grand Theft Auto 4.
When he's running back to the bus, you see the big iTunes that says like "Welcome to 2000." It's like they're like
so good. It's so good.
It's good.
They get back in the bus.
Oh. Really quick, when they crash, I did get a good laugh out of Matt being like, because they're next to like a collision shop with a car, and he's like, "Oh, it could have been worse, huh?" And he's like, "Jay, you're missing a great visual gag right now. It could have been worse."
So, my favorite part of Nirvana the band is Matt Johnson's just delivery. Like I can't even describe it. If it's dry, because it's dry and it's wet and it's just
Canadian,
it's Canadian. It's great,
friendly, aloof.
They realize they need orbits to get back to the future.
Yeah,
and so they go to their apartment.
Matt Johnson almost seems more amused by what he's just said than like, you know what I mean? Like it's that like he's also so excited to make the joke. It's good. It's fun.
They go back to the apartment. They run into themselves first, and then they go back to the apartment. Straight back and forth between young them and old them. I like when Jay sits down at the piano and plays the song for young Matt.
Yeah.
It works because young Matt can't see him because he's got his hat over his eyes the entire time. But then I love later that young Jay does not realize he's talking to old Matt at all. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Jay plays a new song that he had written. Matt is upstairs running into young Jay and tells him, like, "This is a dream. Listen to this song." And then that sets off the future. Say some line about, like, when you got a best friend, you don't notice getting older.
Yeah, because he's talking about like his mom being like potentially put in like an old folks home or something. Yeah, he's like, what a drag getting older is, And then Matt says you don't even notice it when you got a best friend. And Jay's like, "Oh man, I made a mistake."
Yep, that makes Matt angry, and they go back.
What makes Matt angry is that Jay's like, "You're not gonna believe this, but I was escaping you. Yes. That's why I was in the RV because I was trying to get away from you."
Yeah. And so
he wipes the board of the plan and just writes, "Don't play the Rivoli," which sets off the diversion.
Also, my favorite visual gag in this movie is this movie and the show always starts with Matt writing a plan on a whiteboard.
Yeah.
Or they're in the fucking RV and he pulls down the little whiteboard. Took me out. Really got me.
Yeah. It's really good.
Also, when he's trying to show him that the time machine works before they realize they need the orbits, and he's like, "Hold on, watch this. You're going to laugh." And he types in September 11th, 2001. I went and saw it with my partner.
Incredibly funny.
She was the only person that laughed, and she got super self-conscious.
No, super funny.
They go back to the future. Turns out Jay's very famous now from that one song.
Yeah, Never Come Down.
Fun fact, that's a song in real life from a band that him and his sister were in that had some kind of success. It was pretty popular, which is why I think in the movie when he's at that show playing that song, I think people like actually know the song because it's in the real world. Fun fact for you. He turns out to be famous, and Matt is in a J. Carroll cover band with 3 dudes who are just him.
Yeah.
Oh, it turns out I got a little Chinese in me. I like that.
Yeah. They all have tattoos of Jay.
They go to see him. He pretends not to recognize him. And it cuts to him and what he's been doing for the past couple days. He's on a tour bus with a bunch of people. It's not working out because he's weird.
Yeah.
Because he's still old Jay.
Yeah.
He sees a gun, thinks about a Nerf gun that Matt had. He goes, "This is going to kill." And he pretends to shoot somebody and blows that guy's head off.
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Really, just
unexpected.
unexpected. Couldn't stop thinking about it for the rest of the movie. It kind of not ruined it for me, but it like brought the tone of the movie down for me. The rest of the movie, I was like, he killed a guy. This is insane. This whole movie's happening, and he killed a guy.
Yeah. He's wanted. It's all over the news.
Fun fact: while they were filming this movie, they were somewhere else filming something. The Drake and Kendrick beef is going on. Somebody shoots Drake's house. They hear about it, and they go, we got to get over there and film that. And so all the new stuff in this movie, from Jay shooting that guy and everyone being outside of his mansion, that's Drake's house, and that's really them filming the actual media and the police talking about the shooting at Drake's house.
Wow. There's even the scene, talking about the fair use stuff, where like Matt Johnson breaks the fourth wall, kind of, and is like, if you're seeing this in the theater, thank your lucky stars.
Yeah, and I love that because they're discussing about how they cannot use the Back to the Future music, and that scene ends with the Back to the Future music. It's so good. I love it so much. He shows back up at his house to talk about the time machine.
Really quick, to go back for a moment, in the very beginning of the film, there's the scene where they're walking back to their apartment at night, and they're like, oh my god, Jay, did you see this? It's 9 or 3 o'clock, and the CN tower just got struck with lightning.
Yeah.
So then later, when they have to get back, they realize that the reason why the orbits works is because there's a bolt of lightning in every bottle or whatever. And Jay's like, I don't know when a freaking lightning's gonna strike. And he's like, oh my god, we do 9 to 3.
I love that because that's like one of the most clever parts of Back to the Future is like there is a reason for him to remember why lightning struck that tower at that time, and I love that this is just like he just happened to ask a guy at the time and he remembers it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes to Matt's house to talk about the time machine, still pretending that he doesn't know anything. And I like him being like, what if someone wanted to go back in time 2 days?
Yeah.
2 days. Why would you want to go back in time 2 days?
Spilled wine on my hands. But yeah, when he remembers that later, it's like, or I killed a guy. It's so funny, the little... Yeah. But, and I love the gag outside of the CNN tower where, like, he's down on the ground and people are like, what are you doing? You have, like, a buddy that's, like, a chef up there or something? He's like, oh, yeah. And then when the cops are like, what are you doing? He's like, I got a buddy up there. He's, like, doing, like, a chef thing or something.
It's so good. It's so good. Also, fun fact, the lady outside of the tower that's, like, from Brazil, I think she said. When he goes up to her, he goes, oh, right, we haven't met yet. And then leaves. They just, in real life, just shot that out of order. Because that lady's not an actress. It's fun, very fun. They're doing the thing with the rope, which also I still don't understand how this works, how this powers the time machine. It's not plugged into the RV. It's plugged into a generator. Oh, and then the generator's got the big pull and hook from Back to the Future.
Yeah. The only thing that upset me about this film is they flash back to Jay buying the cutters, and he talks about how, like, the electricity went through me, you'd see my skeleton and stuff, but you don't see a skeleton when he does it.
Yes, yeah.
Show me the skeleton. I want to see Matt Johnson's skeleton when he gets electrocuted. Come on, man.
I feel like there's a lot more movie here that I'm just not remembering. He parachutes off the top of the tower.
There's a lot of stuff that's like we've talked about this a million times. It's hard to talk about a comedy because, like, what are you just going to repeat every joke? So it's funny.
He gets the pliers in the beginning. He puts them into the thing. You don't see a skeleton.
Because there's a whole back and forth where, like, Matt learns about the murder and he's obviously upset because he's like, oh, well, this guy just wants to whatever. But at this point, he's basically like, whatever, I'll kill myself so this guy can go back to his fucking awesome rock star life. And so he does that. But Jay sees Matt basically sacrificing himself so that Jay can have his awesome rock star life, and then he changes the time at the very last second and goes back to the beginning of the movie where Matt knows none of this has happened. And we see, the beginning, and he's like, we're going to skydive into the skydome or whatever. And he's like, Jay's like, oh, well, we should go a little early in case they close the thing for a bad weather. He's like, oh, yeah, good point. And then they, on forever.
Love it.
From there.
Love it.
Yeah. Good. What are you gonna get this movie?
I'm biased because I've been watching the show lately, and I think they're very funny. I'm gonna give this movie an A. I'm gonna give this movie an A+. I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an A also.
Hell yeah.
Did you give F?
Just give it an F. Yeah.
We both gave it an F. Okay. Well, that's that. But next week you should come over and we should do the Lillards.
Hell yeah.
Because it'll be the Oscars, and it's a good time to do that. And then we'll discuss what movies we'll watch next time, or what do you reckon?
Yeah, we'll do it. Oh, do you want to talk about it at the Lillards? Or yeah, we'll talk about it after the Lillards.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't happen to have some categories still written down, do you? Damn.
Let me see. I'll look around.
Okay.
I thought I even sent them to you. You might be able to.
Yeah. Search for through a text. Yeah. You can have your people get back to my people.
Yeah. All right. That's that, Mattress Man. If you need more soup, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or go to our website, eatingsoupalone.com. And until next time,